This man never ruled a country, never commanded a great army, and considered himself a complete failure on the day of his death. But today, more than 2 billion people live by its invisible rules. Why did his ideas, which once seemed like a failure, become the foundation of the world's most powerful economy and the secret code for survival? We're used to thinking that breakthrough technologies or strict laws save the world, but one ordinary person realized something brilliant. To fix an entire country, we must first fix the meanings of the words we use every day. Welcome to the story of the shadow architect of our civilization. Confucius was not a god and did not claim mystical revelations. He was a master of reality. His legacy is an operating system for human society that has been in operation for 25 centuries. Imagine a world where elites openly violate the rules, where corruption is the norm, and society collapses under the weight of endless wars. This was China in the 6th century BC, and it's remarkably similar to what we feel today. Confucius grew up in extreme poverty, working as a shepherd and barnkeeper. It was there, among the simple needs of people, that he saw the root of all problems. He realized that large-scale change begins not with the emperor's decrees, but with how you behave at the dinner table. If you feel frustrated by the world's injustice or burnt out in the corporate jungle, Confucius is your antidote. His system is based on the concept of Ren. The character consists of 2 parts, a person and the number 2. Your personality doesn't exist in a vacuum. You become human only through relationships with others. Every word you say, every action you take either creates social harmony or deepens chaos. Confucius argues that personal development is not a marathon for success, but rather the work of cultivating the garden of your soul. This is where Li, the concept of ritual, comes into play. For Confucius, it was a social lubricant that prevented conflict. He believed that table manners could prevent war because they taught us to respect others' boundaries. Confucius was history's first social hacker. He approached rulers and said, "If you need to use force, you've already failed as a leader." True leadership is about leading by example. He believed in Shao, filial piety. For him, the family was a demo version of the state. If you can't find common ground with your parents, you'll never be an effective leader. The most radical step was the revolution of meritocracy. Confucius changed the meaning of the word junzi, nobleman. He stated that nobility is not a matter of genetics, but of character. Anyone who is prepared for lifelong learning can become noble. This is the secret code that has enabled Eastern societies to make incredible leaps in development, the cult of education and constant self-improvement. But what if the system is so broken that rituals have become hypocrisy? Confucius experienced this firsthand. The ruler neglected his duties for the sake of 80 beautiful dancers sent by the enemies. Confucius didn't comply. He resigned and went into exile for 14 years. He wandered, starved, his life hung by a thread, but he did not change his principles. This is the real Jianzu, a man who remains true to virtue even in times of danger. Confucius's main insight is Zhengming, or the rectification of names. Let the ruler be the ruler, the father, and the son, the son. In a world of information noise and post-truth, this is more relevant than ever. When words lose meaning, society loses its bearings. Fixing the world means giving words their meaning back. Start with yourself. Be who you say you are. Many consider Confucius a conservative, but he was a great editor of humanity, one who reassembled the best practices of the past to save the future. He understood that man is good by nature, but this kindness requires constant training, like a muscle. His negative golden rule, do not do to others what you would not wish for yourself. This is the minimum threshold for the survival of civilization. Look at modern megacities. They are built on the same discipline, respect for hierarchy, and a desire for knowledge. Confucius invites us to stop waiting for a hero to come and fix everything. He says, become that hero in your own life. Your life is what your thoughts and your habits make of it. Knowledge without practice is useless, and practice without knowledge is dangerous. True knowledge is understanding the limits of one's ignorance. Confucius calls us to be strict with ourselves and compassionate to others. The next time you encounter toxicity on social media, remember Lee, your response is also a ritual. You can either add fuel to the fire of chaos or become the wind that bends the grass. Confucius taught that a virtuous person will always find joy in learning and music, even if the world around him is crumbling. His success wasn't measured by the titles he held during his lifetime. It was measured by the fact that we're still discussing his ideas 2,500 years later. Summing up his teaching, Confucius said one phrase, "Do not do to a person what you do not want done to yourself." This simple rule is the foundation on which the entire edifice of human culture stands. We invite you not just to study Confucius, but to become his co-authors. In a world where everything changes too quickly, his ancient wisdom is the only compass that doesn't lie. Correct the names in your life. Restore meaning to your actions. And remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step in the right direction.